Is this like tariff stuff? Oh boy. By Donald J. So Donald J. Trump posts on his Truth Social, based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's markets, I am hereby raising the tariff charged by China by the United States of America to 125%, effective immediately. At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the United States of America and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. Conversely, and based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called the representatives of the United States, including the Departments of Commerce, Treasury, and the USTR, to negotiate a solution to the subjects being discussed by relative trade, trade barriers, tariffs, currency manipulation, and non-monetary tariffs, and that these countries have not, at my strong suggestion, retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the United States, I have authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%, also effective immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, like, he basically said, dude, hold up. He said, okay, so China, so if, hold on, if I remember correctly, China said, basically, Trump said, yo, we're giving you reciprocal tariffs. And China was like, no, fuck you. How about we increase our tariffs? And then now Donald Trump is like, you know what? Fuck you. How about we increase the tariffs even more? And yet everyone else, you're fine. So he basically removed the tariffs from everyone else. And then fucking went in on China like super hard. Oh my God. Yeah, you said fuck you in particular. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, dude. Oh man, dude. And the market went wild? Man. I mean, I've always said I don't like the tariffs, but, you know, we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. Oh, and by the way, when I say that, I'm getting personally, like, absolutely fucked by these tariffs. By the way, if these tariffs actually go through, I'm, like, super fucked, to be honest. Yeah, it's actually gonna fuck us over, like, super fucking hard. Why is that? Because I was already working with a place. I was already working with a manufacturer to get plushies done. Remember, I told you guys that we were gonna get new Fumos done. So I was already working with them to get new Fumos done. And if this happens, then I'm super fucked. But I mean, you know, I've always been against tariffs, to be honest. Like, I mean, you can look at what I said before. I've always been against the idea of tariffs. But I'm not about to like go full like, oh man, like it affects me personally, so now fuck Trump. Like I'm that's not me, guys. I would pay $100 for an American made plush. Well, okay, so the truth is, Astrogat is I don't know if there are any. I don't know how many there are, like how many places actually do make plushies. There might be some places, but the quality is what I'm concerned with. A lot of these like places that we work with are like places that basically they do a lot of they do like kind of more high quality stuff. And it's hard to get like that specific style. Yeah, exactly what Shemila said. One cool thing about the tariffs is the price of Funko Pops rises. Well, the price of a lot of goods in general that are okay, so the price of things like toys and like entertainment goods is going to go up, basically, because a lot of those are sourced from China. Santosh says, how will tariffs make products affordable again? I don't think that's the intent. Tariffs is just a straight increase in prices. I've always said that. It's just a straight up increase in prices. It's a straight up tax on the people that are buying the stuff. The intent is to encourage US manufacturing. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of it. It's like I said, I don't really like the tariffs, and this is the thing that kind of blows my mind. Is like I'll say something like, oh, and I've said this before. I've been pretty consistent on this, that I don't think tariffs are a good idea in general, because I think that they're tax. But I said that I don't like tariffs, but I can see the reason why you would do them. I understand the idea and the plan of like, these are going in for a reason, and I've already said that. I can see the reason is to like increase the manufacturing, like kind of bring more stuff home. I talked about this extensively in previous videos, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. But I've had a lot of people be like, ha, Leaflit, what now? Ha, yeah, you voted for that. Now get fucked. And I'm just like, I'd still vote for him. Like, and? I'd still vote for him. Dude, just because I disagree with one thing that Trump did doesn't mean I now disagree with literally everything else he did. Obviously. And like even having to explain that or like even like process that in my mind is actually just, it's so retarded. The fact of the matter is that on the topic of tariffs, they are a thing that has benefits as well as negatives. It's both at the same time. There are bad things about tariffs and there are good things about tariffs. And I think you make that calculation, right? That's like kind of his job, is to make that calculation of like which one, like are we going to utilize tariffs despite the negatives of them? That to be wielded properly. Yeah, exactly. Much like many things in life. Many things in life are the same way, where there's benefits and negatives to it. And the whole point of decision making, guys, difficult decision making isn't like, do we take this very obviously good thing that has no downsides, or do we take the thing that has only downsides and nothing good? That's never how it works. Difficult decision making is always like, there are benefits and negatives to both decision, and you trying to analyze out which one is more important, right? So in the case of tariffs, again, it's, the tariffs are going to be a tax on people, and it's going to hurt imports and people that rely on imports. But do we need more domestic manufacturing? And that's the calculus, right? And the other thing, like I said before, like I don't want to hear shit from people telling me like, oh, like, wow, like they're increasing taxes so bad. I don't want to fucking hear this from people that have been wanting more taxes the entire time. Like, what are you even fucking talking about? Like, I don't want to fucking hear it from people that have wanted to increase taxes like forever. And like that's been their entire thing, is trying to increase taxes so that the government has more money to like do stuff. I don't want to hear it.
The World Trade Organization, which was owned by China, it was owned and paid for by China. They didn't even have to do things. They considered them a nation that was undeveloped. They said they were a developing nation. Well, we're a developing nation too, if you think about it. Look at our inner cities. Look at what's happened.
Okay, like, hold on. I kind of... That's not what they mean by developing nations, but I also think that is kind of bullshit too, to be honest. Like, giving China like a special status as like a developing nation to give them like an unfair advantage, like I think that's stupid. It's obviously really stupid. But like Trump saying that the United States is a developing nation is kind of wild, actually.
We're starting from ground zero there.
But yeah, it's not any different, really. I mean, China, yeah, they're not really a developing nation. Yeah, true.
So we're a developing nation too. No, I don't. I know it's a lot of people.
I mean, by definition, I guess every nation is a developing nation at that point.
Will take heat for saying it, but I blame the people sitting at this desk more than I blame China. If China can get away with what they got away with.
Well, the thing is if you think about it, can you blame China for wanting to take advantage of, I mean, that's what you would expect, right? Like, you would expect your government to basically fight for you to have every fucking advantage possible. Obviously, every country should be looking out for their own people. That's like the job of the people. That's it. And this is the thing that fucking drives me actually absolutely insane. This doesn't just apply to like the president. This applies to like even local leaders, like senators, all of these people. They're hired by you to represent you and your interests. And every time they fight for other people's interests, that's not your interest, it drives me up a wall. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? I'm paying you for me. This is literally the cuck thing I was talking about earlier. Like, you pay them to take care of you, but they're fucking someone else. And they're doing it like right in front of you. And then people like they're just okay with it. And it drives me up a wall that this is the case. Right. And that's what I mean. It's like when he says that like he doesn't blame China, I also don't blame China. I don't blame any country for taking their own interests of their own people as number one priority, because that's their job. The problem is in America, we have been cucked for so long by people in power that we elect, that we hire to work for us, working for other people. And like they don't even care about like our own interests really. And this is why everyone hired Trump, by the way. This is the reason why Trump is the president right now, because he said, I'm going to fight for you. Fuck everyone else. And everyone was like, yeah, it's about damn time.
With taking hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars right out of our pocket because our people here were stupid. They were stupid people. Maybe corrupt. I don't know. I don't know how you can be that stupid. How do you get to be president and you're stupid? But they certainly weren't courageous. And they allowed this to happen. And with Japan.
The problem is there's a lot of issues with corruption. And all you have to do really is to look at the amount of money that these politicians have. Like, they don't make anything. A lot of these politicians, they don't make anything. They literally are working this public job, and yet they have a fuck ton of money. Like, how did they get from like getting elected to like now they have millions of dollars? Like, how the fuck did that even happen? They have all sorts of like corruption where they're taking deals. They're, you know, under the table. They're informing people about legislation that like is an unfair advantage to them. They're doing all of this shit, and it's so fucking obvious. And that's the problem, is that they're corrupted into like now. So again, they're supposed to work for us, right? The American people. But then like if China is willing to be like, oh, you know, we'll slip you a little bit of money if you like, you give us our interests, right? Then they do it because they're getting a little something under the table. Then again, they're working for the other people and not for us. When it's their job is to work for. They're basically like working for two companies at the same time against the interests of the first company.
And then with many other countries.
Yeah, exactly, deviation.
I mean, we had deficits with almost every country. I used to read these things first time.
And again, I just want to be clear. I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm talking about both of them. I'm talking about Democrats and Republicans. Both of them. They both suck in the exact same way.
I read the agreements and I say, how could anybody agree to this stuff? So certainly they were rough and they were tough and they were smart. And you can blame them, but I really blame the people that allowed them to do it, because
good thing we didn't get a Republican this time. True. Trump's not really a Republican, really. I mean, I don't know if you're being sarcastic, Saber, but he's not really a Republican in the traditional sense. He kind of hijacked the Republicans, basically. He came in and he fucked them up. All of the old school Republicans got fucked up by him. Essentially, he hijacked the party, at least the majority of it.
First grade, and you could read these agreements, you'd say, these are terrible deals. I actually used to say,
dude, that's probably why they killed JFK. Dude, for real. That probably is why they killed him.
Who would allow deals like this to be made for our country? And maybe
again, JFK was Democrat, right?
Maybe it's people that weren't courageous. Maybe it's people that were corrupt. I don't know. But I blame those people more than I blame anybody else.
Mr. President, you've been very specific in saying that you would like the EU to purchase U.S. energy. Is there something specific that you would like China to do?
Well, you'll be hearing about that. Yeah, there are a lot of things I'd like China to do.
Are there some examples?
There are a lot of things that I want China to do, and I'll be telling China what that is. Not you, but I'll be telling.
Sorry, one other weird argument I've heard, and I've heard this from a lot of people. One weird thing I've heard recently is that, like, oh, Japan has tariffs, and correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, chat. Japan has tariffs on American vehicles, right? And then people are saying that the reason why Japan, so Trump is saying, like, you're not buying enough of our vehicles because you have a tariff on American vehicles. And then Japan is saying, well, and this is what a lot of people are saying, is that American vehicles are too large for Japan, which is true, by the way. Like, Japan has a lot of smaller cars. They have an entire class of car that's actually smaller than a regular car, because Japan is so small, right? But the problem is, if that's true, then what's the reason for the tariff, right? if the problem is that American cars are too big, and that's the reason, then and they're not going to sell in Japan anyway, then why even have a tariff? Like, that part I don't get. What's the reason with lowering the tariff then if they're not going to buy it anyway? Might as well. Yeah, exactly. So like the argument that people are making that the reason why that it doesn't matter that Trump wanting Japan to lower car tariffs is because of that is dumb, because Japan doesn't want our cars anyway. Then if that's the case, then why have the tariffs in the first place?
Mr. President, Iran, you said the other day that if they do not agree to a potential nuclear
Seems pretty
deal,
easy. If Trump says lower the tariffs on cars for us, otherwise we'll have to tariff you back, and then Japan goes, well, people here don't even want to buy American cars anyway, so fine. It seems like the easiest fucking thing ever. If that's truly the case, what the argument that people are making.
it would be very dangerous.
Sorry, it was a little bit confusing there. I don't know if you follow what I was saying.
Well, they can't have a nuclear weapon.
Did you mean military action, though, if they don't agree?
Oh, if necessary? Absolutely. Yeah.
And do you have
a deadline for these
Yeah,
talks?
I do.
And
You're talking about with Iran?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Do you want something definitive this weekend, or do you see this as the start of a process?
It's a start.
Sarah says, I'm glad we're demanding fair treatment from her island and McDonald Island. I mean, I see what you're saying is like there's like nobody there, but we're demanding fair treatment. I think we should demand fair treatment across the board, right? I don't know the hang up on the fucking Penguin Island or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. Basically, it should be just across the board.
Do you have a timeline?
We have a little time, but we don't have much time
who is starting the
because we're not going to let them have a nuclear weapon.
Is
Can't
it
let them have a
awkward to
nuclear
be
weapon.
there, Mr. President?
And we're going to let them thrive. I want them to thrive. I want Iran to be great. The only thing they can't have is a nuclear weapon. They understand that. You know, the people are so incredible in Iran, and they're so smart. They're very smart people. But, you know, they're in a rough situation, rough regime. But they understand, and the leaders understand. And I'm not asking for much. I don't. They can't have a nuclear weapon, and I've said that. And I was a little bit surprised because when the election was rigged, I figured they'd get the weapon because with me they were broke. They were broke. They had no money because of the sanctions. Nobody could buy oil. We did that to Venezuela just recently, and we'll do it to other countries if we have to. I want to see Russia and Ukraine make a deal. They got to make a deal. When schools get blown up and bad things happen, like I'm hearing about, it's no good. I hope we're going to make a deal with Russia and Ukraine. But with Iran, yeah, if it requires military, we're going to have military. Israel will obviously be very much involved in that. He'll be the leader of that. But nobody leads us. We do what we want to do.
When would the clock run out on the talks? Before you might, when would the talks need to conclude before you might do military?
I can't really be specific, but you know, when you start talks, you know if they're going along well or not. And I would say the conclusion would be when I think they're not going along well. So that's just a feeling.
Mr. President, on the subject of U.S. troops stationed in Europe, do you have any plans to reduce the number of U.S. troops in
Trade offer present us with
Dude, it's crazy the amount of questions this guy takes compared to other presidents.
regard to
It's wild.
the world. I don't know.
An update on
This guy is Q&Aing like every fucking day.
Just went off a little bit.
Mr. President, two questions. On Iran, do you have an update on who will be participating or conducting these conversations? Will Witkoff be there on Saturday for these direct talks?
The
And
podcast
on
president.
China,
For real.
And
So I'm trying to find the tariff stuff. Is that the only thing he talked about with the
He's a very
tariffs?
smart man. He loves his country. I know that for a fact. I think that President Xi is,
Oh, yeah.
if that's what you refer to, and it is the most powerful weapon. The country's very. I think President Xi is making a very good deal for both.
beyond the trade war, percent tariff.
All right, here we
Talks, conversations. Will Witkoff be
These are the best, considered the best lawyers in the world, right? I mean, considered the best in the world. I don't know. They just went off a little bit.
Mr. President, two questions. On Iran, do you have an update on who will be participating or conducting these conversations? Will Witkoff be there on Saturday for these direct talks? And on China, some economists are saying that right now is technically embargo on China with 125% tariffs. Are you concerned of escalation
Basically, yeah.
beyond the trade war with China?
It's basically an embargo. That's like way too much money. 125 is fucking crazy.
No, I'm not concerned. I think President Xi is a very smart guy, and I think we'll end up making a very good deal for both.
The thing is, though, is China actually is severely going to be hurt by this. And even if they act like it's not the case, it will be, because there's a lot of people that purchase, like, you know, purchase like random goods in bulk from China, clothes, again, entertainment items, a bunch of stuff is purchased from China, in large quantities. And what this is going to do is it's actually going to directly affect like the funny thing is it's going to directly affect like the poorest people in China, this kind of thing. The people that are creating like, you know, good, like toys and like spatulas, like all of these kind of small bulk goods that are going to the United States. Those people are going to be really affected by this, because people are just going to stop buying from them, and that's really again really bad for like the people at the kind of poorer people in China. And if there's one thing China doesn't want, it's a lot of pissed off poor people, because they have a lot of people in China.
But, you know, we've been treated so badly for so many years. Again, we allowed that to happen. We've been treated so badly for so many years. But no, I don't expect that. I think President Xi is one of the very smart people of the world, and I don't think he'd allow that to happen. And we're very powerful. This country's very powerful. Let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful.
Do we have fucking UFOs and shit, dude? Did he just drop that we have some shit that like you can't even possibly imagine? Yo, we got the 0-point tack and fucking laser guns and shit, dude. The anti-gravity well propulsion, dude.
So badly for so many years. But no, I don't expect that. I think President Xi is one of the very smart people of the world, and I don't think he'd allow that to happen. And we're very powerful. This country's very powerful. Let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have.
Dude, that's a crazy warning. He's saying, dude, you have no fucking clue. You have no fucking clue what we're capable of. That's literally what he's saying.
Weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, not even close. So nobody's going to do that, but I think that...
I guess what he's saying is like they're not going to try to start a war with us, like an actual physical war. That was the concern, right? Like, are they going to start a physical war over this? And he's like, dude, they have no fucking clue.
If that's what you're referring to, maybe it's not. But just in terms of basic escalation, which is what you said, no, I think that...
Dude, I really wonder what the shit hits the fan buttons are for the United States. Doesn't it make you guys wonder? Like, what are the shit hits the fan buttons? What do we have? Because there's got to be something that's like break glass in case of emergency, like absolute freaking world-ending shit. Like that they have, like just battlefield changing like tech that you couldn't even fucking possibly imagine that they would utilize, like in the case of the United States is in like actual imminent danger of like the homeland can actually be taken over, that they would deploy like the giga crazy like emergency only like weapons. It must be fucking insane, you know. Unfortunately, you'll never know. I mean, hopefully we never know, right? That's the ideal. But it makes me wonder.
President Xi is a man who knows exactly what has to be done. He's a very smart man. He loves his country. I know that for a fact. I know him very well. And I think he's going to want to get to a deal. I think that's going to happen. We'll get a phone call.
It's called Florida Man. It's just like a fucking platoon of Florida men. That'd be pretty strong, actually.
At some point, and
it's pretty good.
It'll be
It's like, you know,
it'll-
those games where like each faction has like their own special unit, like their own special, like their special unit that's like you know, like unique to that faction. It's like ours is just Florida men. They just send like 5 of them down.
It'll be a great thing for them. It'll be a great thing for us. It's going to be a great thing for the world and for humanity.
Do you have plans to meet with Putin in Saudi Arabia?
Leaf, when we say nukes, we don't mean shit like normal missiles. US and Russia have several hundred nuclear subs hidden all over the globe. That's why they fear our wrath strategically. Yeah, because you can't. Yeah, that is true. That a lot of our nuclear capability is actually in submarines all around the world. So like you can't even target it, right? Like, because that's what they're gonna do first. Is like if they really wanted to attack the United States, they're gonna shoot all of the nuclear silos first. But the fact is, we have several nuclear silos everywhere in the world that are untargetable.
Point that will you? We'll have to see. I mean, we have to get there right now. You know, we got to get there. In the meantime, they're losing 2,500 on average young people every single week. Think of that. 2,000.
You see the meme where Canada thought of teaming up with Mexico to take us out? The first biggest military is our army. The second big is the Marines, and the third is the Texas National Guard. Man.
500 people a week. It's not even conceivable.
You want to know the craziest thing about all of this, guys? Is like, okay, the absolute insanity of this entire situation. You know what started all of this? And all of these countries talking about, like, all these people talking about, oh, like the rest of the world should like team up with the United States. You want to know what started this? It's Trump demanding fair treatment. How fucking crazy is that? Like, really think about that for a second. Trump is like, hey, you guys are really fucking us in trade. Can we get some fair treatment? And then everyone goes absolutely insane. Like, it's so weird. That's the weirdest thing to me. Is like, hey guys, listen, like you guys are tariffing us this much. We're going to tariff you back the same amount. Or you can lower it and we can like, you know, we can be like better trading partners. We can have like no tariffs against each other. And then like, they're like, no, like, fuck you. Like, you're the worst. It's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, it's so weird. He also jacked up the tariffs. Well, yeah, he jacked up the tariffs because their tariffs are higher than our tariffs on them. That's the point. That's the point I'm making, is that their tariffs on us were higher than ours on them. So Trump is saying that's not fair. We're going to increase it, not even to be as high as your tariffs. We're going to increase it to like kind of higher, but not even at the same level. Just kind of higher, like closer to what you have. And then everyone went fucking insane. Yeah, like everybody's insane and fucking mad. Like, oh, Trump is trade warring us. Like, bro, what the fuck? What are you talking about? Trump is starting a trade war? It's already been like that. Yeah, it's already been like that. They already had high tariffs on us. What are you talking about? And then Trump's quote unquote trade war is not even the same amount of tariffs that they're giving us. It's a partial amount. It's a smaller percentage of what they're tariffing us for. Yeah, it's like you punched me 5 times, I punched you once. How dare you? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the thing that drives me insane about this, is everybody being like, oh man, the US is like going out of control. They're fucking starting all these trade wars with everyone. Like, bro, you guys already had this on us. I don't want to fucking hear it. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear it. And by the way, Trump said this himself. If you want less tariffs, then you tariff us less, we tariff you less. It's exactly like it's tied to the amount that you tariff us. So if they want to have less tariffs, all they have to do is reduce their tariffs and then we reduce our tariffs. He said he'll do it. So like, what's the fucking thing here? Well, what's everyone freaking out about? I'm so confused.
We got to get there fast. Take a couple of more. Yes.
Yeah, USA got out of the cuck chair like... Exactly, dude. Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, what the fuck is this?
No, I can't imagine. I don't think so. I don't think I'll have to do it. I don't think we'll have to do it more.
The fuck is everyone freaking out about?
Very carefully. By the way, you know,
look, again, I get it that tariffs are bad. I mean, I don't like tariffs. I don't want to pay more taxes to the government.
A lot of people charge much more than that. Canada charges much more than that to our farmers, our dairy farmers. Many people
Did you know?
charge.
Did you know the Europeans have a name for us already? Brutal American. Wait, really? They're calling us brutal American? Yo, I kind of like that. That's kind of sick, actually. Really? That's sick. Yeah, we should just. Yeah. I like it. I like it. It's a good ring to it. That is kind of metal. Yeah. We should keep it. Yeah. You're right. That's us. Brutal. Brutal Americans.
But I don't.
Makes me think like we're a bunch of fucking barbarians with our like two-ended axes. That's great. I like that. Just rage out on them.
It's still a significant
Activate
number.
rage. American rage.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, Mr. President. So, do you think some of your tariff critics would prefer, to see the United States go through turmoil than to actually see it succeed, just because they are your policies?
You mean just leave the tariffs the way they are now and just relax, right? Some people have said that. Look, again, we're making, it'll be soon, much more than $2 billion a day. That's not the worst thing that I've ever heard. So yeah, some people say that. But, we look at the other side too. I think as the United States, we have an obligation to look also at the other side. We want what's good for everyone. I mean, it's America first, but we also want to make sure there's a world that can live happily and all of that. And
That's completely fucking reasonable. And this is the part that again, it continues to confuse me, is that Trump is like, America first, but like, we would like it if we could get along. Like, that makes sense to me.
so, this is the way I look.
It really
but there are
does.
people that say,
I feel like that's a pretty fair stance. Is like, yeah, of course we have to look out for our own people first, but good if we can get along. Yeah. But if they don't want to get along with us and they don't, they want to impose stuff on us, then why the fuck shouldn't we punch back? That doesn't make any sense.
look, where we are now,
But then again, it does kind of make sense if you think about it. Obviously, if you were in other countries, you would want America to be cucked 100%. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want America to be cucked? Because then it gives you an unfair advantage. And obviously everyone wants an unfair advantage, right?
I've been in worse positions in my life than making $2 billion a day plus, right? It's really plus. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Press. Thank you, Press.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
He's like, I'm done, and people keep asking questions.
Are what really changed your mind when it came to
The markets right now are extremely good. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, so there was a thing apparently that happened, and so here we'll look at this meme.
I'm President Donald Trump, and I'm running for president.
Yeah.
I'm doing tariffs.
You probably don't mean that.
I'm doing them.
I don't believe you.
I'm doing them.
Well, okay. You're president now.
I'm doing tariffs.
Wait, what?
On Canada and Mexico.
Those aren't even the ones that make sense.
Actually, never mind.
Never mind?
I like them now.
Thank God.
I'm putting tariffs on everyone else.
Oh, no.
10%.
That's not that bad.
Minimum.
Oh, no.
And everyone's getting a different amount, a confusing amount.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You're probably bluffing.
I am not.
Really?
It's a negotiation tactic.
Oh, good.
Not really.
Oh, no.
But it might be.
Okay.
China is getting special tariffs.
Okay.
104%.
Oh, no.
They don't want our dumb Hollywood movies anymore.
Oh, no.
And I'm doing it.
Actually?
Baby.
Wait, really?
I am doing the tariffs. Just kidding.
What?
I'm doing the tariffs right now. I'm doing the tariffs in 90 days.
Okay.
I won't negotiate. I am willing to negotiate. I'm President Donald Trump.
That's kind of funny. That's kind of funny.